Hey everybody, it's Mr. Jacobs here, and today I'm going to show you how to add a track to Soundtrap. And we're going to work specifically on the bass. So, let's take a look. Right now I'm in Soundtrap, and this is the track in the style of Can't Stop the Feeling. First thing I want to do is I want to add a new track. So I'm going to click this plus button where it says add new track, and it gives me a menu of what I'm going to add. And there are all sorts of things I can add, but today I am going to be adding guitar and bass. It gives me a keyboard. You see, it gives me an interactive keyboard, and the keyboard is also attached to letters. You'll see that this little purple line is purple line is going across the screen, telling me that it is loading the sound that I want. It might take a little bit of time. So what you want to do is walk through and try to find the sound that you think is going to be the right sound. Right now I'm just going to walk through things and find a sound that works for me. I'm kind of, let me see about this one. I think this one might work, and I'm going to drop it down an octave. And then you'll see the purple line. I have to wait for it to load. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to know how to play the bass line for Can't Stop the Feeling? Well, if you click into Jam Zone in the littlekidsrock.org page, you will see a chart for Can't Stop the Feeling, or In the Style of, by Justin Timberlake. And it shows us exactly what we're going to play right here. So if you're not sure, then you know what to do. Basically, I'm walking with these notes, these letter notes. C, A, F, and A are going to be the basis of what I'm playing, but I'm also going to use this to populate what kind of bass line I'm going to play. Back to Soundtrap. Okay, so we're in Soundtrap. It looks like it loaded, so I'll just check it. Yeah, it seems to be working. You can use your keyboard because each one of these keys that is on the screen corresponds to a key on your keypad. So let me figure out what I'm playing first. I think I'm going to play this. Right? That works. That's pretty close to what it is that I want. Once I practiced a little bit, let me see. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. And once you have an idea of what it is you're going to play, then we can go to the track. We could, you could always hide the instrument if you need to be able to see the tracks that you're working on. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to turn my metronome back on and just press play. And I just want to see what my track already sounds like. Let me just practice one more time. It's V. I seem to have hit the sustain button by mistake. Let me click that off, because we don't want it to sustain, because basses don't sound good when you do that. Okay, so I am going to listen to the track. This will either work or it won't. Take your time. We're in no rush. But for the sakes of this tutorial, I want you to be able to see everything succinctly, so I'm just going to try to be a professional. I got this feeling down in my soul. Lose control. Around the city, I'm in my soul. You get the idea? So what I did is I just tried to record along with it. It's not perfect. I don't need it to be for this tutorial. It would be nice to be perfect. But I just want to make sure that I recorded something. So you see where it starts. I've got all this blank space here. I'll just play it from pretty close to where it starts, right about there. I can solo it. Yes, it's pretty horrible, but guess what? This is when you put your editor hat on. And what I can do is I can always go back and I can do a couple of things. Thing number one, I can freeze the track. Oh, when you're done with something and you like it, you can always freeze the track so that you can't edit it anymore. It becomes a static thing. What it does is it converts the file into something that you can't change. And what that does is it frees up the CPU, which is the central processing unit of your computer. That's your memory. You sometimes want to do that when you have a lot of tracks, which I will wind up with. So, and that's why you do like little tricks like cutting and pasting and removing strapless material. We'll talk about that later. Now, I'm going to right click on the, hold on, I need to click on edit rather. Edit. And I'm going to go to quantize. Now, I'm listening to the and I'm going to see if I can quantize this at 1/16. Quantizing is going to be a completely different tutorial, but I want to just show you that it exists. So I'm going to click it. And it's already adjusted my track somewhat. Let's see what kind of changes it made to the track. It made some interesting changes. Now, it's not perfect, it's not exact. But you can see how the tech works. You can always make it a little bit louder too. I can always adjust the volume. So you see I have this little volume control here. I can always make it louder so that I can hear what I'm doing. But that also goes with another lesson called mixing. Now, is there any way to fix that, you say? Well, here's how you would do that. I would double click, and it brings me to a screen that shows me all the notes in what's called a piano roll. Come on. Now, if I don't like the positioning of that, I can always move it. See how I just moved the note? I just moved it. So, that happened. And if this isn't in the right place, you can always take it and then click it and drag it up to where it needs to be. That's where it needs to be. All right. This video has taken longer than I wanted it to, but I think it's important to illustrate these facts so you know what you're doing while you're working on it, in case somebody decides to log in over the weekend and wants to work in Soundtrap. They have a few extra tools that they can work with in order to do it. But like I said, we have plenty of time. It's not like I'm expecting you to give me a track next week. I happen to be doing Can't Stop the Feeling because that's your graduation song, but it could be any song that you want. It could be an original song. Now that's too soon. So what I would do is I would move this just a little bit. I would move it. And if you look, you'll notice that there are lines and bars for everything which tell you where to put things. So if I want this to start right on the beat, there you have it. If I want it to start in the middle of the beat, everything can be defined, and you can always expand this so that you can see it very carefully. So you can see how the song is broken up into sections, just like fractions. So if you're good at fractions, you're going to be good at music. And if you're good at music, you're going to be good at fractions. One hand washes the other. So I just wanted to introduce that to you guys. I hope that this has been educational for you. I hope it's been entertaining. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and wash your hands. Wash your hands.